Stan loves Sparky too much. Stan has always loved Sparky, or maybe he loves him a little too much. Stan or Sparky warning, bestiality is in man and dog love. Alright. Stan
I
groaned.
hate this.
He was reading the book A Midnight Summers. Oh yeah, also I should mention, Rick122 was the one that asked me to draw Stendy love child art. But instead I responded with Kurt Maida because I'm not into that heterosexual shit. So anyways,
That's so crazy.
It was for his 8th grade. Oh my god, is he in 8th grade? That's even worse!
No.
Oh my god, okay. He knew he hated Shakespeare. He did so well. It was the last book they read, but this one was something he did not like. I've never read this book in 8th grade. We read like shit like Hamlet. He rolled over to his stomach, pumping his feet up into the air and sitting on his elbows. He began carefully reading the next page. It was so hard to focus on the words because reading them. He knew he felt like he was 4 again and pretending to read Cosmo in the doctor's office because he badly wanted to know what the words on the pages meant. Fuck. He put down the book after several minutes of reading the same page. He pressed his head against the pillow and sighed softly. This sucked. He was never going to get his reading done, and he would never be able to answer the questions for the assignment. Picking up his cell phone, he quickly texted Kyle and asked if he can copy him in the morning. He put the phone back down after a few minutes. Kyle had never had his phone was in reach and would probably get back to him whenever he finished whatever he was doing. Stan pushed the book off the bed and onto the floor. Then he wrapped his arms around his pillow and closed his eyes. His eyes were tried from the strain from the strain it took to read, even when he barely understood what happened. Joke's on him. What I do is I don't even read. He slipped into a state of consciousness between sleep and wake. Alright. He could still feel the time moving by at a normal rate, so it surprised him when he felt a movement at the edge of the bed. He rubbed his eyes and looked down. Hi, Sparky. He smiled at his dog. He was now a middle-aged dog and well-behaved after being a puppy and not yet in his too old phase. Sparky wiggled around his body as he crawled into the bed to lay by his master. No one calls it. It's like Jazz. Have you ever looked at your cat and say, "You must call me master"? All right.
No. I call them master.
What? Okay. Stan chuckled a little when Sparky licked his chin and nose. He pushed Sparky back. After a few moments, that's enough. Sparky whined a little and put his hand on Stan's lower back, grabbed his cell phone. 30 minutes had passed, but Kyle had not texted him back. Stan resent his text before putting his phone back down. He wiped his eyes again, yawning lightly. Suddenly, he felt a strange feeling between his legs. What? Okay, now he was so used to the feeling of arousal, but he was not used to this feeling. Turning his back over the shoulder, he saw that Sparky was licking him between his legs. Ew. I'm literally just drinking a bottle of fucking Spana. Sparky, no, Stan snapped. He gently pushed Sparky back. Thinking the issue was over, he put his head back down into the pillow, but less than 30 seconds later, Sparky was doing it again. Oh my god. This is so sad.
Ew.
This is disgusting. Imagine owning a dog and writing this. Stan again.
I know.
Stan again pushed the dog off. It was no use. Sparky was persistent. Finally, he was able to push Sparky off the bed. The dog shook himself and tilted his head in Stan's direction. Sorry, boy, but that's just not right. Stan stood up and, pulling off his jeans that were now a little too wet, pulling off his shirt as well. That is such terrible writing. He lay back on his bed in just his boxers. He did not scold Sparky when he jumped back on the bed. He knew that Sparky was just being a dog and did not understand what he was doing. But Stan understood he was getting a little bit aroused.
I can't deal with.
Oh my god. His dad had assured him that everything was okay for Stan to get aroused by usual things. At his age, getting aroused is usually very random, and he's in 8th grade! The dark-haired boy was just glad that his arousal was little. It was easy to will away. At least that's what he thought when he had his eyes closed. Sparky moved to stand next to him. Okay, now he was sniffing at the small tightness in Stan's boxers. Stan batted him away with a light hand, but did not stop Sparky. The dog wiggled his nose and began licking away again. It surprised Stan to see that not only was he getting around, but Sparky was getting around too. He watched the dog's penis. What? Grew and grew. He had never seen it, and I'm drinking to this. He had never seen it get that big unless Sparky saw a cute boy dog in his park. Okay. You know, Sparky, he rolled over his back and got a lot of things. Sparky did not stop licking him, but the male dog hooked his legs around Stan's side and began humping his backside and let out a little moan. He could not help it. It really rose him. He never knew that people could be aroused by animals. But Sparky, he could not deny his cute little dog anymore. He was just following his instinct and did not know what he was wrong. Stan slipped out of the bed and locked his around just like a dog told him, "Are you sure you really want to do this?" Sparky whined and a little pawed at Stan's side. The dog licked his lips and leaned down to slap at Stan's boy erection.
No.
I'm gonna drink this.
I'm gonna die.
Okay, Stan waited and fainted. He felt that Sparky was not actually going to do it. He moved to sit up and look at his dog, but before he could rise but a few inches, his dog mounted on him. He started to hump right away. Stan stayed up. What the fuck? He felt his dog's big and gorgeous penis rub against his own erection. His dog's penis is bigger in width and in length than Stan's, but Stan knew that he was eventually going to have something, whatever. He moaned in the moment of feeling of petting him. He pushed him back and get his more feeling of he was about to come and started because there's something impossible. Looked his head before he could try to get him position lower. Stan felt his dog slipping, pushed back his tight. Oh my god, no! Oh my god, no, he's in 8th grade! Oh my god, no. But oh my god, his erratic humping was able to. What the fuck? Oh my god.
Why would you write this?
I'm not reading this anymore. Yeah, no. I love myself too much to finish this, so I'm gonna stop.
Why is
Thanks
it so
for coming. Thanks for reading this with us. I want to kill myself.
Me too.
Special thanks to Jazz for joining us today. I want to kill myself, and I'm going to drink my pain away.